Now we here, now we here. Now we here, now we here. Now we here, now we here. Now we here, now we here.
Hello and welcome. I am Laon, a certified life coach and addiction recovery coach, here to teach you manifestation so that you can manifest the life of your dreams. If you are interested in any one-on-one coaching services, please check out the drop box below. I also offer custom affirmations if that is something you are interested in as well. If you could do me the favor of hitting that subscribe button along with the bell notification, that way you're notified every time I post new videos, and the thumbs up button if this video resonates with you. That way it can get pushed out and help more people just like it helped you. Okay. We're going to dive right in. I have a bone to pick with the community. Bone to pick with this whole idea of manifestation. Okay? The fact that it's even called manifestation is us putting our awareness on the 3D, out here, in the outer reality. That's not what we're doing here. It's not actually that we're trying to manifest anything. And I know it might be, well, that contradicts everything, Lane, because I really do. I want this specific person. I want the house. I want the car. I get that. But this journey is about self. This journey is discovering an identity that you've never experienced before. An identity of someone who's chosen, who's loved, who's prioritized, who's wealthy, who's a millionaire, who's extremely successful. It's so much bigger than the physical manifestation. And when we recognize that it's not about the actual physical, that it's about us, that we are the cause and everything outside of us is the effect, doesn't it make sense that our journey should be about us, not about the things that we can physically experience, the things that become tangible? This journey is about increasing and elevating our emotions to feel better about ourselves, choosing beliefs that align to who we want to be, choosing an identity that we can be proud of, that we're happy with, right? And because we're making those choices to be this new version of self, of course everything in our reality is going to change. Of course things are going to become tangible in our experience. That's part of it. But our focus should be on us within, connecting to higher consciousness, to God, to source, to our higher power, whatever you want to call it. That's what this journey is about. It's not about you can manifest this or how I manifested that. Cool. Again, we were doing this unconsciously, right? And we were miserable. Maybe in a couple areas in our lives we were, or in our life we were happy. You know, maybe in our job we were really successful, but our love life miserable. Or vice versa. Maybe, our love life is going really well, but we just can't get a grip of money. Is that how you want to continue to live? Or how about the people out there that have been trying to manifest something for years, never focusing on them, always focusing on the things outside of them, the circumstances, the feelings of it being impossible for them to get this, to get the manifestation? Well, it's because our point of view is how we can get something and not how we already have something. The fact that we even desire it means that there is a possibility that we can experience it. It means that that desire has already been accomplished by a different version of us. Or else we wouldn't be able to even perceive the idea of it. Let me ask you this. Do you have a desire for a F-250 Ford truck? That's, black leather interior, black rims, a lifted kit. Do you have a desire for that? Chances are no. And the reason why you don't have a desire for it is because there's a timeline that doesn't exist where you have one. But do you have a desire for a specific person? And it's burning, like you can taste your life together. You can feel this person and how badly you want them. Well, that's because that reality exists. There is a version of you that is experiencing a passionate, romantic, loving, fully committed relationship with that person. There's a reason why you desire it and why you don't desire the truck. There's a reason why we have desires, and it's not to be told, no, you can't. It's actually to tell us, hey, we can, right? But the way that we get things to manifest in our reality is not by focusing on our reality. It's by focusing on self. Who would I need to be? And what beliefs would I need to have? What identity do I need to embody? How do I need to act and behave in my reality for this thing to actually manifest? For me to actually be the version of me that has this? Those are the questions you need to ask yourself and then answer them. And if you have no clue, then why do you want it to begin with? If you have no clue what it's like, why you want this person, why do you want them? Ask yourself that. Well, you want them because it's going to make you feel secure. It's going to make you feel loved, chosen, prioritized, right? To make you feel safe. To make you feel like you are valuable, correct? How about why do you want the money? Well, because it's going to make you feel secure. It's going to make you feel safe. It's going to make you feel that relief. Maybe success, maybe pride. So it's not about the physical manifestation. It's the feeling that the manifestation is going to give us that we're longing for. And we can give that to ourselves. It's all over the Bible, believing in the unseen before it has been seen. But if you think about it internally, if we go inside of our imagination, if it's inner conversations, if it's visuals, even if it's just scripting, we are seeing it right then and there. We are actually in that reality right then and there because the only thing that exists is now in the present moment. The past doesn't exist because there's infinite past, just like there's infinite timelines. Each timeline has a past, a future, and the present. And the way that we align to different timelines is choosing right now in this present moment. And then we'll quantum jump to the present moment of the new timeline. So when you go inside your imagination or any technique, you are instantly in that reality. Even though it might not seem like you are, you are. Consciousness is energetics. Do you see atoms? No. Unless you got a really, really high-tech microscope, no. You can't see atoms with your physical 3D eyes. That doesn't mean that the atom didn't move from here to here, right? Think about that. You can move without even being able to perceive that you moved. Physically. Internally, you can perceive it. That's the gauge to let you know that your manifestation is here, right? That you're going to have it. That's how you know it's physically going to manifest in our 3D. Is using our internal world as a gauge. Are we changing our perception? Are things looking differently to us perception-wise? We can look at, we'll say, a specific person as, but they don't want me, they don't want to be with me, they're not thinking of me. Or once we shift that identity and we really get clear on, well, what would it even feel like? Why do I even want this person? And giving ourselves the love, the unconditional respect and admiration, making ourselves feel chosen, prioritizing ourselves and our needs. As soon as we start doing that, guess what? We have a change in perception because we've changed our consciousness. So then we start looking at the specific person through the lens of, but they've always wanted me. It's always been this way. Like, no shit. Huh. Wow. I can't believe I didn't see it before, but now I see it so clearly. They've been drooling over me. It's because you had a shift in perspective. You had a shift in your state of consciousness. That's the gauge to let you know your manifestation's a done deal, that it's going to show up physically and tangibly in your 3D. Because you're perceiving your reality completely different than what you've perceived it before. And the only way that you can do that is having a change in your identity. That is the only way, okay? So the way that we do this is deciding who we want to be, outlining it. If you want to make a list of it, how does this new version of you show up? How do they behave? What thoughts do they have? How do they wake up in the morning? How do they walk around? What are their emotions like? Describing that to yourself. right? And throughout the day, checking in with yourself and saying, this is who I am now. Walking around as that version of you, almost like you're playing pretend, but it's not pretend because that version of you exists, right? So that's how we change our identity, is deciding who we want to be, getting clear on who we want to be, and giving ourselves what we're looking for from our 3D validation and recognizing it's not about manifesting the physical thing. It's about manifesting us. It's having a change in perspective. It's having a change in our identity because I am the cause and everything out here is the effect. So to change the effect, we have to change the cause. We have to put our awareness on the cause. Awareness on what beliefs do I want? How do I want to feel? How do I want to behave? That's how we get things to manifest. So again, it's not about the physical, tangible manifestation itself. Because we experience it internally before it's even been manifested. Like I said, believing in the unseen before it has been seen, but technically you're already seeing it within. You're already experiencing it within. You're satisfying yourself with it within. And because of that, you get to experience it. Okay? So I just had to go on this little rant because it's not about, I need to manifest this thing. No, it's having the change in perspective and identity and giving it to yourself and what that actually means. It's outlining, well, why do I want this thing? Why do I have a desire for this thing? What do I think this thing is going to give me internally? Because that's all we're longing for. It's not the physical thing. It's the way that the thing or the person's going to make us feel. And that is a connection to God, to source, right? Anytime that we choose a different emotion, a different feeling, a different perception, a different identity, different belief system, we are connecting to the higher power. Right? Because we're elevating ourselves. You think it's a coincidence that when you're happy or when someone's praying or looking for advice, what do? Their awareness goes upwards. Please, God, please help me. Right? Or I'm just really happy. I'm confident. I'm looking straight forward at life. You think that that's a coincidence? And then when you're sad, everyone looks down, their head goes down, their eyes go down, their demeanor is down, their shoulders are down. You think that that is a coincidence? No. So we elevate ourselves. We're reaching for higher thoughts. We're aligning to the version that we want to be regardless of what we've been told, regardless of our experiences, regardless of the circumstances. We decide who we want to be moment by moment and not holding ourselves back anymore. Not waiting for it to manifest. It will, because everything's the effect. As soon as we change the cause. Some people call it self-concept. Cool, it's just another label. Who are you choosing to be? That's it. What self-concept do you want? How do you want to see yourself? How in relation to this thing that you are manifesting would you be? How would you show up? And it's answering these questions and then walking around as this person, reminding yourself throughout the day, nope, again, I'm this person. This is what I prefer, is to be this person. Regardless of what the 3D showed me, I understand that's old. That's just the effect. I'm changing the cause, so everything else is going to change as well. It has to. It's law. I understand that now. And just carrying on with your day. It may not be instant. That's okay. The internal shift is. And your internal world is your GPS. It's your gauge. Are you feeling a little bit better today? Did you smile a little bit more? Did you recognize your power just a little bit more today? Right? Did you have a little bit more confidence walking around today? Okay. Well, guess what? That's elevation. Right? That means you're doing something right because there's a little tiny, even if it's a smidgen, there's still a shift within you. So don't give up just because you're not seeing your 3D change. It's not about the 3D. Okay? It's not about manifestation. This is a personal development journey. That's what this is. And it's not, I got to heal my trauma. No. Leave that trauma in the timeline where that all happened. And choose a different timeline. Choose a different identity. And that trauma will no longer haunt you. Those beliefs that held you back for so long will no longer haunt you. That depression and anxiety will no longer haunt you if you decide to be a new version of self. You have to let it go, though. The way that we let it go is reminding ourselves what we prefer instead of what we don't prefer. Reminding ourselves of who we are. Regardless if we have any experience being that person, you are deciding internally, this is who I am, and you will notice the gauge starting to shift more towards what you do want internally in your preferences and your perception. And the gauge will slowly start to shift, and you will perceive your reality differently. You will feel differently. And then the effects will change. All right, so that's my rant for today. Hopefully that this was very helpful. If you did enjoy this, again, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon along with the thumbs up button. That way it can get pushed out and inspire somebody else, or maybe open up somebody else's mindset if they need it. So keep that in mind. Anyways, guys, thank you for being here. I truly appreciate every single one of you, and I want you guys to achieve your goals here, but it's about the internal, not about the external. So keep that in mind and stay connected to who you truly want to be, and stop wavering and questioning and doubting when everything is you. Okay? Stop doubting yourself. You can do this. I trust that you can do this. I believe that you can do this, and you have to believe it too. You got this.
Hey, bottom, hey, hey.